In the past, witches were feared figures, often associated with the devil, blamed for misfortune and accused of casting harmful spells. They were seen as threats to the established order, defying societal norms and possessing unnatural powers. Now imagine a witch who could control the entire universe, a being of unimaginable power, capable of shattering worlds and rewriting the very fabric of reality. Such a force would not only be feared, but utterly terrifying, a cosmic horror beyond human comprehension. Unfortunately for us, a witch like that exists, and she views everyone and everything as a story to be written. With the help of an excellently done analysis by Manny Watkins, I wanted to explore this figure named Featherine and analyze what exactly makes her so powerful. A witch is an individual who has mastered the art of magic and ascended to a higher plane of existence, allowing them to transcend the physical realm. While often depicted as human, witches are capable of tapping into forces that extend beyond their earthly limitations. Though the term witch is traditionally associated with women, anyone regardless of gender can become a witch if they follow the appropriate path. While many can learn to use magic to a certain degree, only a few can rise to the level of a true witch. The process of attaining this status can occur in different ways. Recognition. This is the most formalized way of becoming a witch. A person earns recognition from other witches or even humans after proving their abilities, often marked by the signing of their names in a magical register. This act may be accompanied by a special ceremony with powerful witches present, signaling the person's formal introduction into the magical community. Some witches can pass on their titles and powers to others, typically choosing a successor they take on their magical abilities. This transfer of power is akin to passing down a secret role, ensuring the continuity of the witch's influence. In some traditions, a witch's journey may be linked to an abstract game or series of trials. Those who successfully solve the puzzles or overcome the challenges present to them can attain the status of a witch. This is often a mysterious and difficult path, requiring perseverance and wisdom to navigate. Not all witches are the same. Their practices and abilities can vary wildly, and some witches possess extraordinary powers. For example, voyagers are witches with a rare ability to travel between multiple realms or planes of existence. These witches are often among the most powerful, and most of them are born with extraordinary gifts rather than acquiring it through training. Another rare class of witch are creators, those with divine-like abilities to create something out of nothing. These witches are so powerful that with sufficient training, they could shape entire galaxies. However, their immense power comes at a great cost. Once a witch becomes a creator, they are freed from the typical boundaries of life and death. Their existence becomes fragile, with the potential to vanish at any moment. For some witches, this detachment from the world is too unsettling, causing them to avoid reaching this pinnacle of magic. One of the most renowned creators is Featherine Augustine Aurora, a witch from the When They Cry series. Featherine is a being of unimaginable power, existing for an eternity and known as the Witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. Over time, she has grown weary of the cycles of life and death, endlessly repeating them. In the past, she was a legendary figure who controlled the fates of others through complex games. However, her once celebrated name has faded, and only a solitary medal remains as a testament to her past glory. Featherine exists beyond the concept of witches. Her power transcends the limitations traditionally imposed on witches, elevating her to a state that can only be described as divine. However, this immense power comes at a particular cost. Featherine must remain in a constant state of thought to avoid perishing entirely. This constant need for preservation has shaped Featherine's personality, giving her an unshakable arrogance that separates her from humanity. She regards humans with little more than casual disdain, often referring to them as children of man, dismissing their names as insignificant. Beneath her elegant words hides her condescension, a belief that human existence is little more than a fleeting story, unworthy of her full attention. Yet, like other witches, Featherine is not immune to the eternal curses of boredom. For her, the antidote lies in stories, tales she has consumed for countless eons. To maintain her presence over the passage of time, Featherine depends on a device which records her name, appearance, and identity. Without this artifact, the natural erosion of time would strip away her individuality, leaving her as little more than an abstraction. It is through her proximity to the concept of the Creator that Featherine's power becomes extremely staggering. The Creator exists beyond all restrictions, a being capable of summoning existence from the endless sea of zero, a void where nothingness gives rise to infinite possibilities. It is here that Featherine has ventured, approached by the highest plane of existence, while carefully keeping her individuality intact. Complete immersion in the Creator's essence could dissolve her identity entirely, merging her into a boundless, cosmic consciousness. This fear of erasure is the only tether holding her back from full omnipotence. Even so, Featherine's power is staggering when viewed in the context of the Umineko universe, a boundless, ever-expanding void of infinite universes and fragments. In this vast structure, each universe gives birth to countless fragments, with each fragment representing a world of infinite universes. To put it simply, a universe is like a library. A fragment is akin to a book within that library, each one containing its own story, complete with its own time, space, and rules. Now imagine that library has an infinite number of books. Each book has an infinite number of stories. These fragments form an infinite multiverse where every possible outcome and deviation of events can exist simultaneously. For most beings, even witches, traversing and comprehending the complexity of these infinite fragments is an overwhelming task. To navigate them requires immense power and understanding, as every possibility, every alternate reality, is its own self-contained existence. Yet, for Featherine, this complexity is insignificant. She does not merely travel between fragments, she transcends them entirely. To her, these infinite worlds and possibilities are no more than pages of a book, or threads of a tapestry she can effortlessly weave and rewrite or discard. Where others are bound by the rules of their individual fragments, subject to time, fate, and causality, Featherine exists outside these limitations. She perceives the multiverse as an ordinary structure of stories. This perception grants her the ability to manipulate not only a single fragment, but the very nature of the fragments themselves. She can overwrite outcomes, rearrange timelines, and collapse entire universes back into nothingness with a mere thought. Her abilities are a reflection of her godlike status. Featherine can manipulate reality itself, rewriting the fate of entire worlds as effortlessly as an author edits a manuscript. Time and space holds no power to her. She can bend and reshape them with ease, shifting probability and causality as if turning the pages of a novel. It is no exaggeration to say that Featherine exists beyond existential limits. She has created and shaped the very narrative of Umineko itself, establishing herself as the ultimate author of the story. To her, time can pause, universes can collapse, and entire fates can be rewritten in a single stroke. The power to control the narrative gives her dominance over all things, allowing her to remain a supreme entity in a multiverse where infinity is just another variable she can rewrite. Featherine also possesses an overwhelming arsenal of abilities, including nigh omnipotence, near total knowledge of all events, possibilities, and outcomes across infinite universes and layers of reality, cosmic awareness, the ability to perceive the entire multiverse and its countless fragments as a single narrative, time manipulation, control over the flow, structure, and perception of time, spatial manipulation, authority over space, allowing her to bend, stretch, or collapse dimensions, causality manipulation, the ability to rewrite or ignore the cause and effect relationship, plot manipulation, she can control and rewrite the narrative of existence itself, treating events and outcomes as elements of a story, probability manipulation, the power to influence and alter probabilities and possibilities of any scale, concept manipulation, the ability to manipulate abstract concepts and the fundamental nature of reality, void manipulation, the power to erase existence, returning everything to nothingness. In corporeality, Featherine exists beyond the physical form, untouchable by conventional means. Abstract existence. Her existence is not bound to her physicality, but an abstract being beyond conventional understanding. Skivity manipulation, allowing her to control the skivity itself. Magic, mastery over all forms of magic and applications. Law manipulation, the power to create, alter, and enforce specific rules and laws within game boards or realities. Mind manipulation, Featherine could dominate and manipulate the minds of others. Soul manipulation, control over the soul and spiritual essence of beings. Shapeshifting, the ability to alter a form and appearance at will. Anyways, let's be glad that Featherine doesn't actually exist, because if she did, all our individual and unique stories would come